Last time I proved this idea could work, but breadboards and loose wires aren't exactly practical, so today I'm attempting to turn this prototype into a real controller. Hello and welcome back to the solder side. You may remember the video where I built this prototype Mega Drive controller. If not, I'll add a link in the description, or you can check out the card up here if your device supports it. Today I'm hoping to turn this mess of cables into a proper controller. Bear in mind, I've never done anything like this before, so I am sure there'll be plenty of mistakes. So let's clear this out of the way and bring on the PCB I designed. I've never designed one before, so I'm hoping it's going to work. But as you can see, it's got the buttons and the capacitor, resistor pads, the spot for the main chip, and there's more buttons. You've got the pinholes, and you've got my, I don't know if you can see it, my channel name just here. I've never done these before. I don't know how I'm going to do the case yet, but we'll find out together. I mean, I've already made a few mistakes where I've got the resistors and the capacitor far too small, but it doesn't matter. Let's get this all soldered together. It was at this point I realised my mistake with the small pieces. I should have made them bigger. It was such a pain soldering these on. And of course, that wasn't the only mistake. The buttons I bought had tabs on the bottom, which I needed to cut off as the board doesn't have holes for them. Moment of truth. Oh, it's looking promising. The start definitely worked. Fantastic. So all we need to do now is build a case for this. Okay, so I have to be quite realistic as to what I'm going to be able to build, because I haven't really got many tools. So I start by just cutting a piece of wood that's slightly bigger than the PCB, so I've got enough room to make a case around it. Then I chop it in half to make the case basically, and then what I go and do is I use the holes that I've got in the edges of the PCB to fix it to the wood. So what I'm going to do is have like some dowels going all the way through, and that's why I'm hollowing out the wood now so that the PCB can sit in there. And then I'm going to use dowels as buttons and fix them in somehow. And we're back from the workshop, and unfortunately this wooden case is not the one. So the buttons and things don't actually press. I did try it, and I don't think they're misaligned, but they just weren't working. So I thought, you know what, let's get rid of it. We'll bite the bullet and do some 3D modeling. And today this arrived, so I got this with 8 buttons. I've had to cut off, there was like a piece going across here which unfortunately warped and broke, so that wasn't great. I'm just gonna grab a blank to test this out, but yeah, that's not great. I'm gonna have to cut these edges off on the right one, so I'm gonna do that now. Unfortunately, I've got one other problem. The pins of this IC are too long, and I don't think I can get them any shorter. Well, before I glue it in because I think I'm going to use some hot snot to hold it down. I'm just going to make sure that the buttons and stuff align. I envisaged that I was going to get this wrong, so I purposefully extended the bases of them. One, so they wouldn't fall through the lid if I turned it upside down, and two, to make sure that I reached the buttons. I just need to figure out how I can stop this board from moving. So what I've done is I've just packed in some bubble wrap, couldn't think of the word there, and that kind of holds it. So what I think I might do is put some hot snot in there to kind of hold it down, and that should kind of be it really. And then I just need to test it. So let's give this a go. That feels all right. I just need to test it now. Let's have a go at testing. Okay, moment of truth. It seems to be, you know, the buttons seem to be working absolutely fine. I didn't think they would because I thought I'd ruin them when I did all the woodwork stuff. But this is working. It might not be pretty, but it's the best we can do with the equipment we have. I would say that you need your own 3D printer if you're going to be doing stuff like this, because I would love to make some more modifications. And also, when they sent it to me, it's already like warped, and I don't know whether that's just their printing process or my design, but I'd love to, you know, make this look better and actually make this 10 times better than it is now. But unfortunately, we don't have the equipment, but hopefully in the future we might do. And I hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you did, make sure to smash that like button. And if you want to see more, make sure to subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one.